Hello and welcome back to another tutorial with Mr. Arsenault. Today we're going to be looking at 3D design and how to create a custom fidget spinner. So I'm in the program, and so far all I've really done is I've changed my view from the regular three-dimensional view to the top view. This allows me to start seeing what I'm going to sketch at a very orthographic perspective. So I'm going to start by sketching my circles. I'm going to start with a sketch circle. Click on my grid to start sketching. Now that I've selected it, I'm going to select my center point. Now for a fidget spinner, I know from experience and from measuring that my bearing is going to be 22 millimeters. So I'll press return, enter, and there I have a center point of 11 to the outside and 22 all the way across, which is perfect for our bearing. Now I'm going to give it an offset by choosing the offset command under the sketch menu. Select my sketch, highlights, move off, move on. Now I'm going to select the curve to offset. I'm going to go from the outside 2.5 millimeters. You could make it larger, it's up to you on how big of a skin you really want. Click return, and now I'm going to create myself an arm. Now every box is 5 millimeters, so I have from here to here is 2.5, and here to here, center to center, is 5. So I'm going to select, let's say select another circle. If I start sketching here without doing anything, I'm going to be creating two different sketches. So I'll sketch it up here to show you, and I'll sketch myself a circle of 15 millimeters. And give that an offset of 2.5 again. 2.5, enter, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to make an arm this way, and I'm going to make another arm this way. So the other way is to go sketch command, circle. I'm going to select this sketch to edit it. Notice how it turns green. Now when I move over and I sketch my circle of 15 millimeters, you'll notice that the other sketch is also highlighted green. What this means is they are actually attached. So now when I offset this sketch, they both turn green. I'm going to select the same curve, offset it to 2.5 millimeters. Alright, now all I have to do is connect the two. Okay, I'm going to connect both of them using an arc. I'm going to select my 3-point arc. Now for over here, I'm going to select, doesn't matter what I select really. If I select my sketch and I go, alright, I want to go from this point to say this point, then I just choose a point on the arc, press my click, left arrow key, and because I'm still in my same tool, I can select multiple arcs at the same time, and I'll go from there to this point and choose a point on my grid as well. Alright, I will press OK, and I'll do the exact same thing from this sketch over to this sketch. Sketch, 3-point arc. I'll select this sketch because I want to edit it. Notice how they both turn green. I'll go from the outside, this one. Stop point is going to be over here, this point, and let's make it this big. I really apologize for the lag, guys. My computer's a little old. So I have one there. I'm going to make my second one. First point is going to be there. Second point is going to be here. And middle point is going to be over here. I'm going to have about a 2 square width. When I select it, notice how everything turns green. And then we're done. Okay, I'm going to click the green checkbox to exit and deselect. Now you'll notice two different things. One is the horizontal arm is all blue. Blue, green, whichever color you want to call that. And the top arm is not. Both arms are identical, but you'll end up doing a lot more work having to merge all of these pieces together because we made this in 3 different sketches. We have one sketch up here, one sketch down here, and a sketch for the arms. Okay, now this is a little bit of a problem because this sketch is complete, this sketch is complete, but in order to connect the arms, I'd have to make a line from here to here and from here to here. Whereas on this sketch down here, everything is attached. You'll see that because it's all blue. So if I go to my trim tool and I hover, only the line select, only the circle selects, or only this circle selects, but notice how it's entirely there. So what I'll do is before I move on, I'll press escape and I'll actually delete these lines to not confuse us. Delete, delete, make a nice big selection. Really sorry for the lag, guys, it's an older computer. Okay, delete. Now that all those guys are gone, I can go back to my trim tool, select all of these guys. Now because they're all attached, it doesn't matter what I click on because they're all going to highlight green. Now I'm going to the inside because I want just a simple arm. Select and take off anything that's not going to allow you to do your arm. There's 2, there's 3, just zoom in a little bit. And all I did to zoom was I just took my scroll on my wheel and I scrolled forward. To pan away, I'm clicking on my mouse wheel and I am dragging it. Take off this guy and this one right here as well. Okay, I can zoom back out. Now that they're all trimmed, I have a nice neat arm. Now why is this important? It makes it very easy when you're doing the extrusion so that you don't have anything in your way. I can go to my extrude command now, extrude, and because all this is one single face, I can select it and bring it all up together at the exact same time. Now I know from experience and from measuring in class that the height of my bearing is exactly 7 millimeters. So I'll type in 7, press enter, and now I have a 3-dimensional shape of my one arm. If I move my arm off of my sketch, I still have my sketch to work with later on, if need be, and now we can move on to doing the fun stuff. At this point, I would fillet my edges to make them nice and round. Take my fillet tool, I'll only do the top side for you guys, just because of the lag I don't want to take too much time, and I'll select all the pieces that I want to fillet. I have one arm or one segment, 2 segments, 3 and 4. If I was going to take my time, I'd do the exact same thing to the bottom. Now that I have my fillet, I'll grab my arrow, which is right here, and I can drag it in. Or if I wanted to, I could select my fillet radius here. Let's say I wanted exactly 3. Will it allow me to do 3? Yes, it will. So I'll press enter. I'll zoom back out. And I'll choose my pattern tool, circular pattern. You notice I have 2 options here. When solid is selected, I make sure I choose my solid. When I select my axis, make sure it highlights, I'm going to select the axis of where my bearing is going to be. So that's going to be my inner circle. Okay, so the inner circle, highlight that, click on it. Now it's going to tell me how many arms do I want. Well, right now it's set to 3. If I wanted to, I could set it to 4 or 5 or 6, however many I wanted. When I'm all done, all I have to do is combine them. I'll press enter or return. Deselect. Now you'll notice that each piece, while it doesn't seem that way, is actually detached. Okay, so I'm going to hit back, and what we can do is we can combine them so that they all appear on the exact same axis, the center point of the bearing. So I'm going to go to my combine tool, click merge. As long as I have two different pieces to merge, I can do the operation with however many pieces I want. So target selected. I'll pick 1 target, 2 target, 3 target, 4 target, 5 target, and I'm going to add all of these targets to the one source. So I'll click on source and click on my last piece. Once it highlights, I'll then press enter. And now when I move it, it all moves as one entity. Yep, moves around with my mouse, except for the lag, of course. So from here, I could save my work by going under the File Structure menu, Save, Save to my computer, and then I'd give it a name. So I go to my H drive, which I'm on a home computer, so I don't have it. Go to my computer, I'd find my H drive, and then I would save it. And then at the end point, I would go to my File menu one more time. I'd go to Export as 3D, and I would select STL. From here, if we did not combine our pieces correctly, the Combine Objects option box would be open, so I could toggle that on. But because it's not, it indicates all the pieces are selected together, so they're all combined. And I can click OK. And now once I save this file, I'm now ready to move on to the next step. So I'll call this my spinner. Notice it comes out as an STL file. I'm going to stick this into my D drive. Hit save. And that is today's lesson. We'll go back to the next lesson in just a little bit.